I just want to welcome everybody to the Maxx and Rachel Crosby Field Celebration. I don't know about you, but I had goosebumps and all the little fuzzy feelings watching Ella run around on her mom and dad's field, and know that she'll have that as all the photos and everything else. Just an incredible night. A little toasty, but well worth it to be out here. And for those of you that I have not met, my name is Scott Weatherby. I'm the Director of Athletics here. Been at Eastern, crazy. I was going back through my photos, and my press conference was like June 26th, 7 years ago. So it's been seven full years here. So excited to kind of MC this. We'll be pretty brief, but first, let's give a round of applause for our food group, for everybody that prepared the food for us. Kathy and her team, they did a great job. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of effort that goes in. Obviously, getting the tables and chairs and covering up the Crosby Field stuff to do the surprise, and getting videos and coordinating all the music and MC and everybody else. So I just appreciate behind the scenes, everybody that pulled this off so we could have a great evening. So I ask you to give them a round of applause as well. And I've gotten wise in my 7 years. I don't list names anymore because I always forget somebody. So those that did the work know that I appreciate them as well. So President Smith and Connie Smith couldn't make it tonight. They had a pre-plan. They're actually heading out west for a week, and they had this plan well before. Max was generous while he was doing cold tub, hot tub, to spend about a half hour with them this morning before they took off, and had great conversation. And they're just really appreciative of Rachel and Max and their contribution and all they do for Eastern. And so just on behalf of the president and Connie, I just had to mention that's why they couldn't make it tonight. It's just a year ago, we were standing out here on the other side, and Max was here to do an induction of the Ring of Honor, which we had done pre-COVID, but then hadn't had a chance to get him back to be able to celebrate and get pictures and congratulate him. And so we did that a year ago, and while he was here, he and I, 365 days ago, sat and had breakfast at one of his and Rachel's favorite little breakfast spots there, the Golden Egg. And he's a big fan of that. And they're big fans of his now, too, all the time. They always ask about him. But we had breakfast over there, and we discussed the fact that we really needed to replace this turf. And so my football players will appreciate it. The turf was getting pretty beat up, wasn't it? It was getting hard. It had been 10 years, and it was time to do a new turf. And I also told him I thought it was time to remove the track and make it a football stadium. And his eyes lit up on that. But I will say the first thing he asked me was, "You are going to leave the field gray, right?" And I said, "Yeah, I think we can make that happen. We can make it Raider gray." So it's Raider gray. He liked that. And then I also said, if you and Rachel would help us with replacing that, we'll make sure it is the Raider gray. And in a good AD fundraising, where's my nose? A good fundraiser we'll do is, I also mentioned for the right donation, we would make sure to put his name on that field. And so that kind of put to motion. He really got excited about the opportunity for that. Max is somebody who wants to leave a legacy here, wants to give back to our student athletes, cares about Eastern. He wears it on his sleeve, on his arm, like literally wears it on his arm, and cares about this place. And so for him to have the opportunity, he was like, absolutely, I want to try to do something. So I also explained to him that if we could get you to step up, there was more people in line willing to help out to make this happen and be able to do this. I just needed to get somebody to be the lead gift. And so he and I talked for a few months afterwards, and then obviously he came to Detroit to play the Lions on Monday Night Football. Coach Creighton and I drove up to the team hotel the night before the game, and he presented us with the $1 million check. And so that was, we can clap for that for sure. And so, along with obviously his football success, he and Rachel's contribution, we wanted to make sure that his name was going to be synonymous with his field for a long time. And because of that, I told them it would happen. We got 3 more gifts of over $1 million, and they wanted to do it because Maxx was on board. And it really, really helped. Between those 4 gifts, we raised $5.5 million this past fall. Yep. And this looks beautiful, but you would be amazed that a lot of the costs actually are, we're building a new track for our track and field program, which they absolutely deserve one. They're one of our most successful programs at Eastern Michigan. And it's just on the other side of what is now Westview Apartments that are finishing up as well. So if you get a chance, you can certainly drive up and see the work. It'll be done in September. We'll have a new track that they can call their own, and we don't have to worry about being on top of each other with football practice and track and field. But I just want to say thank you to Rachel and Maxx for stepping up with this lead gift and getting this project off the ground. And then, when I arrived almost 7 years ago, one of the first conversations I had with Coach Creighton was about the track being around the field and how other schools would use it as a negative for us that, why are you playing at a high school field, or you're the only one of the few in the country that has a track around your field. It's really a football stadium. And so we talked about it, and, he told me he'd love to eventually, build the track somewhere else and let them have their own home, and then we can have our own home. And I said, well, let me see what we can do. It took, sorry, Coach, it took me 7 years to do it, but we finally got there, and the timing was right. But our football program deserves it, and our track and field programs deserve it. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm forever grateful to Maxx and Rachel for making this happen. Couldn't be happier that we named this field after them. I'm going to ask Coach Creighton to come up here and say a few words. And while he makes his way up here, I have a little something for him. When Coach arrived in December 2013, he recognized that we needed to replace the turf at the time, so 10 years ago. And he worked with then athletic director Heather Like to make that happen for his first season here. And he would tell anyone that would listen, we'll play anyone, anywhere, anytime, even in a parking lot with broken glass. And so you have a parking lot with broken glass that we play on every Saturday. And this great turf lasted 10 seasons and saw us go to 6 bowl games in those 10 years. We had some of the most successful years in our university's history, second most wins just 2 years ago. So I took a piece of that old turf and put it in a shadow box so you could always have a piece of that original parking lot. So we took a piece for Coach to have. So I thought you'd like that. And so I'm going to let him speak here and then introduce Maxx and Rachel. And appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you.
Pretty cool.
Thanks, Scott. I was already wound up. Now you give me some of the old turf. Now I'm super wound up. So good luck to you. Hey, good evening, everybody, and thank you for being here. And I just want to start, too, by thanking our athletic director, Scott Weatherby, for working, so hard. He's not someone that tries to bring attention to himself. he cares and works really hard at trying to make things great for everyone in his department. And this is that, that's special for me. I appreciate all that you put into this. Let's give it up to him one more time. So I've got a ton of emotions, cruising through my body. I have all day. And, you guys who were here in 2014, Brogan, if you'll stand up, and DT, Creel, you guys will stand up. And then Ross Williams, you got here in 14, Hunter Andrews. I don't know where you guys, there you are, okay. I got to say something about these guys, man. And you guys in the green shirts, better be listening. And everybody needs to know this. But these guys did something historical in over 130 years of playing football here. And this is what it is. They believed when nobody on this planet believed. And I need for everybody to take a second to really understand that. Okay? Because it's been a long time now. But these guys believed when nobody, I mean it, nobody on this planet believed. We just put in the new field, and you guys remember my first summer here, and our team knows this, but D. Reed's jersey is buried underneath, and it's still there. They lost a teammate the season before I got here in 2013. Obviously, they lost the staff, and they lost a bunch of games. And we continued to lose games on Saturday afternoon. And nobody believed that we could do anything. And we certainly didn't have that building. We certainly didn't have this field. We didn't have lights. They wouldn't let us play at Maxx because our lights were so. You guys remember that? We had to rent lights from Musco Lighting to try to get a Thursday night game. And then we got lights. You guys who haven't been in the weight room, you walk right down that hallway and don't take a right. Keep going straight, and you'll see the weight room that these guys bled in and sweat in. Take a right. You know where you got your food? That was our team room. Like, bring a chair. Team room, am I right? And you talk about the field being gray, so yeah, it was exactly right. These guys, not you quite yet, and you weren't here quite yet. They were here in January when we had 5 inches of snow and blue sky, and Coach McKeefery came up and said, hey, let's do it outside. And he started ribbing you in the freaking bubble and saying, man, you guys are soft. Going and doing indoor. I never had an indoor. And so these guys said, what? Well, we'll go outside. And then that's when we went outside. And the whole field was set up with cones and ladders and agility bags. And after a long snowball fight, we had an unbelievable workout. We did, man. I mean, I'm telling you, I was inspired, man. It was like, we'll play anybody, anytime. We were going to go play Florida. And it was like, we'll find a Walmart parking lot in Nashville. Like, we don't got to wait. And then, so yeah, when you said it, Scott, when 2 months later, the AD at the time said, we're going to get new turf. And we said, let's make it a parking lot. And this is about the size, that's about the size of a sample that we were given to make a $500,000 decision on being the only team on the earth to go with the gray field. And we had to make gray pellets. Remember the gray pellets before, And so we made it happen. And so the meaning's deep. Someone said, it's a gimmick and all that. And it was like, yeah, go jump in a lake. You know what I mean? It's way deeper than that, man. And, our first 2 seasons, everything was building, right? The relationships, the infrastructure, you know what I mean? All those things were building, but we just weren't very good on Saturdays, man. And then it got really rough, and some of you guys remember this. So we're 3-21. So if there was someone in here right now that said, no, Coach, I'm not one of those people, I believed. Now I'm calling you out right now. When we were 3-21, and HBO and Bryant Gumbel and USA Today and the Washington Post and the New York Times and the Dallas Star and every paper in America came out and said Eastern Michigan's dropping football or they're going Division II in the spring of 2016. Try recruiting during that. That's not what you guys showed up to. That's what these guys stuck with. Because they believed in themselves and each other. And then you can call it whatever you want, but it technically was the biggest turnaround in FBS football in 2016, but it's so much more than the numbers. These guys stayed together, and when Josh Allen showed up, Luke, they kicked his ass. And then we went to Bowling Green, the defending MAC champs, at their place, and won. Right? And we didn't win every single one of them. We go to Ohio, and we win. Remember that? And then Ball State, we're down 21-0. National television. Came back, baby. Let them score at the end so we'd get the ball back, go down and win. On election night, 4-hour-long game, boom! And then we knew that 6 games wasn't going to do it. We had one more game left, at home, Central Michigan, my wife's birthday. Had a 4th and 3. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about, or whether we were going to throw the slant to Dooley or kick the 51-yard field goal with Paulie Fricano. Somehow throw the slant, throw the fade to Sergio. Touchdown, Eagles. Jeremiah Harris, prevent defense, highest point. Whose ball? Our ball. Win the game. And shock the world. Because these guys believed. And Coach Nethery, I told you guys this, Coach Nethery came up to me after that and said, I don't care how long you coach. I don't care if you win Super Bowls, you'll never have a greater season than what we just had in 2016. And I'll say it right now, amen to that, man. I love you guys for life. And stats can't ever explain who you guys are and what you've meant to this football program. Let's give it up for those guys. And we've got 3 fiancés in the house, or 2 fiancés in the house. All 3 are getting married, and you guys chose super wisely. And I know that these guys are just straight up lucky. So, wish you well on that. Hey, the green shirts. Okay? Listen now. And I've been thinking about this a lot. This will be my 11th year. And there is some belief. And so I'm looking at every single one of you in your eye right now. And I'm going right through the left side of your chest. Because since 2016, not much has changed. We've been good, but not great. And I'm going to tell you right now, and you already know it, the next group to change it is going to be the group that believes. And it ain't going to be easy. The next group to go to the next level is going to be the group that believes deeply in yourself and in each other. that's the next step. Speaking of the top, that's where you come in, my friend. And where's your bride? Somewhere? All right, good. Awesome. So listen. This is the unveiling of, let me say it this way. This is not the unveiling of Maxx Crosby Field. This is the unveiling of Crosby Field. And when we sent you the first rendition, you said it looks awesome, but it's going to be Crosby Field. Max and Rachel Crosby Field. And that is so, heck yeah, give it up for that. And so listen, I might, in recruiting, I may end up saying Maxx Crosby Field, but then I'll tell the whole story, okay? But it is Crosby Field. And first of all, that is team first, okay? We've been talking about marriage, whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just, man, I was, proud of you, for both of you, for doing that. It's a big deal. It's a really big deal. It's Crosby Field. And everybody is going to be thinking of 92 or 98, and, that highlight film, could have been 3 hours long, okay? And look, I'm not going to take away from any of that because we know now how hard it is, the discipline it requires, the consistency over years of time to go after greatness like you're doing it. So no one is ever going to take that lightly. But I'm going to take it, without your permission, even a step farther, okay? Because you just gave us a little bit of a window, okay? And so I'll just keep it at that window. But and you've said it. And Rachel, whether I don't know if you were in the room or if you weren't in the room last year when he came back. And Max credits you in the hardest, most difficult time of his life. Out of love for him, you did what is seemingly impossible, to do, which, I don't know, these are my words, but allowed for you to hit rock bottom and become the man and the family that you are right now. And so, it's Crosby Field, men and women. And it's like, it is deep. It's deep. I'm telling you. And I mean, shame on you if any of us forget that. Those of you who are guests and coming in and meeting the team and the Crosbys for the first time, to me, it's the best part about tonight is the depth of it being Crosby Field. And then guys, okay, I can't make this up, and you just heard him. But so the name on our field, okay, the Crosbys, they are tough. At the lowest point, and we had a low one here, you bounced back. You just said it to everybody. You never quit. That's what believing is. Is never quitting or giving up. Obsessed with being your best. I remember from last year when you said anybody can do it for a day. Guys coming to your boxing club, anybody can do it for a couple days or a couple weeks. Try a couple months, maybe the year. But how many can do it for several years? And then what you said was, how about from here on forever, for the rest of your life? And that's when everybody just gets, including me, gets uncomfortably silent. Because deep down, are we willing actually do that. You're obsessed with being your best. Unwavering. He wouldn't come unless he had the right food. It's unwavering. And beliefs and convictions, grit, passion, perseverance towards a long-term goal. It's been 5 years, but you said it when your third grade teacher said, what do you want to be? An NFL player. No, give me something else. NFL player, give me something else. NFL player, NFL player, NFL player, NFL player. In heart, man, never give up, the refuse to lose, and the heart for the community. How much you just helped this football program? At 26 years old? Come on, man. So, my deal is that you told us how many sacks you had, and I hope that you break every record and all that stuff. But listen, tonight, as we unveil Crosby Field, it's Rachel and Maxx Crosby who have done it together, and it hadn't been easy. You're the epitome of who we are and what we want to be. So God bless you guys. Thank you everybody for coming. It's a big deal, man. I mean, yeah, I'll shut up, but I mean, like, it's a really big deal. Love all you guys, and give it back. Max, come on up, and Rachel, if you want to, if you don't.
I mean, the energy is top tier, so I'm going to try my best to match it. I usually do it out there, but I just want to say I can't begin to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Everybody's had a piece in making this come true. It started with Coach Creighton. I was 17 years old just trying to find who I was. I was going from camp to camp to camp. I'm sitting here talking to my dad and my Uncle Jeff. As a tight end, every single camp, they said, we don't have enough film, we can't offer you yet, this, and that. And it's a testament to what he just said. It's not quitting. I do it every single day. I'm obsessed with what I do, and I wasn't going to take no for an answer. And I still live my way. I still live my life that exact way every single day. I can't tell you, I got so many people here that have been a part of this journey, from my family to Rach, to Ella, to CJ, the whole crew. I truly can't begin. I can go on and on about every single person that's been here. I can go on and on about my teammates, my brothers over here, everybody that's been involved for this whole journey. You can't do it without an army behind you. Every single day, I look for that 1% to grow and improve and be the best version of myself. And I truly can't thank everybody enough for sacrificing and understanding what I have to do to achieve what I want to achieve. It starts with Rachel. Rachel's there. I mean, sacrifices on and on and on for us, with the baby, with travel, with making things come together. Without her, it wouldn't be possible. I met her when I was a boy, and now I'm a man today, and I could say there's no other person on this planet that I love more than this woman over here chasing the baby. So. There you go, Rach. Yeah, it's truly an honor. Me and her, she met me. I was literally a kid figuring it out. Had a drinking problem, had a partying problem, couldn't stay out of trouble. But one thing was this: I love football. And when I met her, everything started to make sense. She started, I mean, I got literally my meal prep here. She was making me meals and bringing them to me before class when nobody was watching and nobody was talking about it. Nobody was giving me, I wasn't up here standing talking about my routine and talking to you guys about what I'm doing every day. I had a warrior like her in my corner. It wouldn't be possible. My parents, from day one, you guys, I mean, I could go on and on and on, but you guys have supported me, taking me to practices 45 minutes when we didn't want to, through snowstorms and all that. It wouldn't be possible. Mom, literally it was me, you, and Coach Creighton in the office when I got offered. And I drove all the way across the country. My mom took us over here. It was me and Hunter. Big shout out to Hunter, my brother over here. We went up. We had the longest camp I've ever done in my life. So you guys are spoiled. You have no idea. This is 9-hour camp. Did full tight end, DN drills, workouts. We ended it with tug of war, meetings, everything. And in my head, I refused. I'm like, I'm not leaving here without an offer. He's like, you can go home, get some rest. I'm like, no chance. So this is my last option. Nobody believed. And Hunter walks in there, comes out maybe a minute or two, blank face, no reaction, and I'm like, I'm done. I said, I'm not getting an offer. I'm about to go back to Texas with nothing. And I mean, he's got the greatest poker face of all time, or he froze up. I don't know what happened, but I walked in there, and Coach Creighton gave me the chance to live out my dream. I wanted to be a D1 football player. I didn't care where it was, what location it was. I needed to be a part of something that was bigger than just myself, and that gave me a chance to build something special. Like you said, the HBO thing dropped. The field breaking down the wall, that was on Not Top 10. We were literally, people were clowning me at my own basketball games at the free throw line, making fun of me because I'm going to Eastern Michigan, saying we're not good, we're 1-11, literally chanting, I'll never forget it to the day I die. And it was looked at as a joke. I remember we had a kid too. We all played like Florida or something, lost like 65-0, played Michigan State, 70-0. And they're like, I can't believe you're actually going to that school. And I took it personal. When I came here, I was a little bit lighter, a solid 212, and very solid. And Coach Creighton almost had a heart attack, but I told him I got a plan and we're going to get it right. So truly, it was, every single step of the way, the adversity, the ups and downs, me getting in trouble, getting suspended. I went through it all, and I've still faced adversity being in the NFL. Every single day is a challenge. Every single day I wake up, I know I can be a better version of myself than the day before, and that's why I've gotten to this spot in my life, because I never give up. I'm obsessed with being perfect, even though I never will get there. And I wouldn't be able to do it without this army around me. I got the best people in the world support me every single day. And I'm not going to start screaming, I promise. But I just want to say I love everyone. Thank you guys for showing up. And Coach Creighton, without you giving me a chance, none of this would be possible. So I appreciate it.
Stay here real quick. So Max has learned, as I will never speak after Coach Creighton. You can see why. So Max kind of learned the lesson this time because he brings the energy. So I thought it would be really special we had a couple things for Max and Rachel. One, where's Jonathan Knight at? So Jonathan, one of our photographers, he hooks us up all the time. And he came to me maybe yesterday or the day before. Yesterday with, it looks like a painting. It's pretty slick. And he wanted to make sure that you and Rachel could take that back home. And actually, Coach Creighton, we have one for you as well. And yeah, Coach, there's yours. Yeah, that's all Jonathan. He just gave it to me and said so. And then as I gave Coach one of these, I couldn't not. Here, you hold it up so they can see it. So this actually has the turf that he played on, and it says the factory established in 2014 with him in a 3-down stance in front or on the turf. And then Crosby Field established 2024 with the actual turf that we laid. So he has both turfs from when he played and now his field. So I thought he could have that. And it has a thank you to him and Rachel from us here at Eastern Michigan. So just want to thank you so much, man. And I've also learned that Max's offspring, it has the same motor as he does. She is on the go, never stops. So it's awesome. So that kind of concludes this part. And for those that did the meet and greet piece, we're going to meet in the end zone here in about 5 minutes. And then we're going to actually head to, you need 10, okay. It'll be 5 minutes and then slow walk. and we're going to go, and Maxx is going to set up, and we're going to actually do it in the team building where you get a chance to meet him and do some autographs.